There's a money habit almost everyone has, and it's silently draining thousands of dollars from your bank account every single year. It doesn't feel reckless. It doesn't feel careless. It actually feels responsible. Hey, welcome to WalletWise, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one it is. Habit number 1. Lifestyle inflation. This is what happens every time your income goes up and your spending quietly goes up right along with it. You get a raise, and suddenly you deserve a nicer apartment. You get a bonus, and it turns into a new phone, a nicer car, more takeout during the week. Here's why it feels harmless. None of these purchases seem irresponsible on their own. It's not like you're gambling your paycheck away. You're just upgrading your life a little, the same way everyone around you seems to be doing. Let's put a number on it. Imagine two people who both start out earning $50,000 a year. Over 10 years, both get raises that eventually bring them to $80,000. The first person lets their spending rise right along with their income. Nicer car, bigger apartment, more subscriptions. At the end of 10 years, they have almost nothing saved, despite earning far more than when they started. The second person keeps their lifestyle mostly flat and saves half of every raise. By year 10, they've built a six-figure investment account from the exact same income growth. Same raises, same decade, completely different outcome. That's the entire danger of lifestyle inflation. It's invisible until you compare it side by side like this. The fix isn't to never enjoy a raise. It's simple. Every time your income increases, save or invest at least half of the difference before you let your lifestyle catch up. If you get a $400 raise, put $200 of it to work before you spend a cent of it on anything new. You still get to enjoy the other half. You just stop the leak before it starts. Habit number 2. Not tracking small expenses. This one hides in plain sight. Nobody goes broke from one big purchase. They go broke from a $5 coffee, a $15 lunch, a $10 subscription they forgot they had. Repeated, quietly, every single day, month after month. The trap is that each purchase feels too small to matter on its own. It's just $5. But $5 a day, every day, adds up to over $1,800 a year. That's not a coffee habit. That's a vacation, or 3 months of rent, or the entire starting balance of an emergency fund. Gone. One small swipe at a time, without ever feeling like a big decision. And it's not just coffee. The average person is paying for at least 1 or 2 forgotten subscriptions right now. A streaming service they stopped using, an app trial that quietly renewed, a gym membership from a New Year's resolution 3 years ago. Individually, none of these feel worth canceling. Together, they can easily add up to $30 or $40 a month, disappearing before you even see it. The fix here isn't to cut out every small joy in your life. That never lasts anyway. It's awareness. Track your spending for just 30 days, every purchase, no matter how small. Most people who actually do this find at least one invisible expense they'd completely forgotten about. You can't fix what you can't see, and most people have never actually looked. Habit number 3, the one I mentioned at the very beginning. Not having an emergency fund. This is the one that sounds responsible, because on the surface, it looks like you're just not worrying about it. You're not obsessing over worst-case scenarios. You're living your life, staying positive, not stressing about things that might never happen. But here's the problem. Without an emergency fund, every unexpected expense becomes a crisis instead of an inconvenience. A car repair, a dentist bill, a month with fewer hours at work. And when you don't have cash set aside for moments like this, you're forced to cover that emergency with a credit card, which means you're not just paying for the emergency itself, you're paying interest on top of it for months, sometimes years afterward. Think about it this way. A $500 car repair, put on a credit card at 20% interest and paid off slowly, can end up costing closer to $600 or $700 by the time it's gone. The emergency didn't just cost you money once, it kept costing you every single month until it was paid off. This is exactly how people end up in debt without ever making a single irresponsible purchase. They just never had a buffer, so every surprise turned into a small financial disaster. The fix? Start small. You don't need 6 months of expenses saved overnight. That goal is so big, it stops most people before they even begin. Start with a goal of $500 to $1,000 in a separate account you don't touch for anything else. That alone covers most common emergencies and breaks the cycle of reaching for a credit card every time life happens. Because life always happens.
Habit number 4. Paying only the minimum on credit card debt.
This one feels manageable. You see the minimum payment listed on your statement, you pay it, and technically you're keeping up. Nothing bad happens immediately. Nothing gets flagged, nothing feels urgent. That's exactly what makes it so dangerous. Here's the real cost. Credit card interest is often 20 to 25% a year, some of the highest interest rates most people will ever pay for anything. If you only pay the minimum, the vast majority of your payment goes toward interest, not the actual balance you owe. A $1,000 balance, paid only at the minimum, can realistically take several years to pay off completely, and end up costing several $100s extra just in interest for a purchase that's long since been forgotten. You're not staying afloat by paying the minimum. You're paying a company a monthly fee to keep you exactly where you already are. The fix. Pay more than the minimum whenever you possibly can, even if it's just an extra $20 or $30 a month. That small difference dramatically cuts down both the time it takes to pay off the balance and the total interest you end up paying. And if you're dealing with more than one card, focus on paying off the one with the highest interest rate first. That's the one quietly costing you the most every single month it stays open.
Habit number 5. Making financial decisions based on what you see on social media.
This one is newer than the others, but it might be the most expensive of all 5. Every trip, every renovation, every "just bought this" post creates a quiet pressure to keep up, even when you have absolutely no idea what that person's actual financial situation looks like behind the scenes. A lot of what looks like wealth online is actually debt in disguise, financed by the exact same credit card habits we just talked about. The cost here isn't one purchase. It's a constant, low-level pressure to spend in ways that match an image, instead of spending in ways that match your actual goals and your actual bank account. Over months and years, that pressure adds up to major financial decisions: cars, vacations, upgrades, made to keep pace with a highlight reel instead of a real plan. The fix? Get specific about your own goals and measure yourself against those, not against a stranger's carefully edited feed. If your goal is a paid-off car or 3 months of expenses saved, that's the scoreboard that actually matters. Nobody's Instagram is a financial plan, and you're not actually competing with any of them.
So let's recap quickly. Lifestyle inflation. Letting your spending rise every time your income does.
Not tracking small expenses and letting $5 a day quietly become $1,800 a year. No emergency fund, which turns small surprises into real debt. Paying only the minimum on credit cards and quietly funding a company instead of paying off your own balance. And letting social media set the pace for decisions that should be based on your own goals. None of these are about being irresponsible. They're quiet, invisible habits, which is exactly why they're so easy to fall into without noticing, and exactly why fixing even one of them can change your entire financial trajectory over the next few years. Which one of these hit closest to home for you? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one, and I'll be turning some of the most common ones into future videos. If this helped, subscribe for more videos like this every week, and check out the next video, where I break down exactly how to build that emergency fund from zero, step by step, even if you're starting with nothing saved right now.